Hi, so do you remember this? Have we ever considered that it's actually cheaper to live in an all-inclusive resort than it is to live in the apartments that we currently occupy? Well, it's actually happening. So I'm partnering with Expedia, and they are sending me down to Mexico for a full month to stay at an all-inclusive resort. When I'm down there, I'm going to be adding up everything that I do, everything that I utilize, everything that I stay in, everything that I'm eating, drinking, experiencing, whatever. And we are truly going to get to the bottom of whether it is in fact cheaper to live full-time at an all-inclusive resort than it is to live in the apartments and houses that we currently occupy. As a reminder, my monthly expenses add up to about $4,100 a month, including rent, utilities, Wi-Fi, car payment, car insurance, gas, gym, groceries going out, and dinners out for 30 days. I will be posting daily progress updates to see if everything that I'm doing during the 30 days that I'm down in Mexico are actively getting me to that $4,100 number, or if it's going to actually be more expensive to live full-time at a resort. However, I am operating as though it is I'm not doing anything extravagant. Right, I'm operating as though it's my day-to-day life. If we're day drinking by the pool, and it's not something that I would normally do here, we're not counting that. Drowning in margaritas. I leave on Sunday. Prepare to be sick of me.
We made it. We are officially heading down to Mexico for the next month to live at an all-inclusive resort to see if it is in fact cheaper to live there than it is to live in the spots that we currently occupy. It is on this drive, however, that I did remember that my high school Spanish didn't necessarily keep as long as I thought it was going to. We are in the room, ladies and gentlemen, and this, might I add, is the exact same square footage as my apartment in Seattle. Oh, Ben, but how are you going to track all of this? I am so glad that you asked because I have something in mind. But I'm hungry, so I'm going to go eat dinner, and then something will be in mind on film. And just a reminder, for anybody that doesn't know what this is, I'm an all-inclusive, which means that all my food, drinks, activities, etc. are comped, so that is what we will be adding up. Meal number 1 in the books. Let's see what the damage comes out to be. The waiter said that this is a mezcal garita, which is a mezcal margarita, and this would come out to be about $15 in Seattle. This bread plate would be about $3, and this guac and pita would be about, I don't know, $8 for the dish. It's a pretty deep guac plate. And it's incredible. And a Parmesan bread with an onion butter. I fear you will have to roll me out of here. This fried mahi-mahi appetizer with the salad would be about $14. I'm still sneaky filming because I'm not so sure people know what I'm doing by myself, let alone the rest of this. Oh my god. I was gifted a second mezcal garita, which is another $15 right there. Love a tahini wrap. The main was this filet mignon, which I'd say is about $33, and then it comes with a glass of the house red, which is probably about $12 a glass. I for real just need to bring my little stand that I brought with me out and about. Who do I think I am? I do this in Seattle all the time. In front of people who don't know me, I could do that here, studying you on the table while I'm cutting. Here's the filet. Look at that, nice. That is a medium. Okay, so I could have that literally every single night, for being honest. Plus, Waiterman's brought me a second glass of red wine, which equals another $12. Don't spill on yourself, Ben. You don't want to do laundry yet. But keep in mind, whatever I didn't finish would normally go home. That little bite right there would normally go home and sit in my freezer. So it's not like it's being thrown out. It's I'm thinking of it as what I would use for the coming month, kind of. All right, let's add up day 1. Oh my god, I didn't realize that the time lapse that I was doing would have absolutely no sound at all. So here is a voiceover of what is actually going on. And basically, I'm dividing up the days between the different categories. So grocery, eating out, dining out, going out, other. So the lines might not be straight, but the math is good. All of this is going under the dinner out category because once a month, I'm usually celebrating somebody for something. So this is going to be the celebration dinner. So everything is going under that category. So on day 1 at an all-inclusive resort, 100% of my money went to dinner out. I ended up spending $112 at dinner, and that is before tax and tip. Overall, that dinner came out to $145. Day 1, and we are well on our way to seeing if it is actually more affordable to live here than it is to live in Seattle. Record scratch sound, yep, that's me. Bet you're wondering how I got here. Good morning, this time change is killing me, so we need to go get coffee, mainly, but breakfast too. Oh, Oh no. All right. How'd that look? So this coffee and muffin would actually be part of my regular grocery budget. Let's play a game called Let's See What Ben's Hair Looks Like at the End of the Month. So this humidity is humiditying. Time for lunch, and I had to get creative because I am doing stuff in my room right now and couldn't go to a restaurant, so I ordered room service. Also, hair check. So when I told you that this is what a day in the life is going to look like, I wasn't joking. Basically, what I've done for my lunch is compiled a bunch of stuff that I would normally just have in my fridge at home in order to create a salad or a bowl or some sort of concoction. So I basically made my own Caesar salad, kind of. Now, obviously, what I had on hand isn't what I would always want to have on hand, but, I mean, $12 worth of supplies to create one salad does the job it needs to do for a lunch. About as good as anything I would have compiled at home, so. Time to go find a mid-afternoon coffee and I don't know, like produce or something. Something healthy. Bag, and by bag I mean cup, absolutely secured. Second coffee doesn't count because I brew a whole pot at home. I even ordered this in Spanish. So my afternoon snack cravings have come about, and this is in my mini fridge. Gas station bag of chips, $1.50. I've also inhaled like 3 bottles of water today, but I'm not going to include that because it is bottomless and you can't drink the tap water. Also, hair update, looking heinous. Tonight's dinner is over by the beach and not like, oh my God. And don't look at the dogs, but they're already a little blister from my burps and it's been one day.
I am screwed.
Anyway, dinner's down at the beach and I was told it was gonna have a good view, but oops, going kind of late. Guess the view's gonna be darkness. Also, I saw monkeys earlier in these trees just like walking down the path. And I'm afraid they're just gonna kind of, 15 minutes early, so we're gonna get a drink. I don't know if it's a Seattle thing, but we call these little half beer schooners. So I was chugging my schooner while waiting for my reservation and I could have sat inside out of the wind, but no, they put me right here in the corner. Dead center in the eye of the storm. But hey, at least I had a view watching this cat play around with a couple of dogs, which you don't see every day. There was definitely a language barrier with my vodka soda. I should have ordered a vodka con agua gaseosa, but this was like juice. Obviously, the bread plate made another appearance. Today's was cranberry. And I actually researched the menu before coming to the restaurant this time, and I was absolutely stoked for the ceviche. But when it said octopus, I don't know what I was expecting, because what I wasn't expecting was to get a full-ass tentacle just right in the middle of my chip. Oh, and there is the realization, you dumb, dumb boy. Y'all, I could not do another one of those tentacles. Aquafuckers. But don't worry, y'all. We knew exactly what we were doing. We are back in action with some pork belly, plantains, rice, that juiciest little cherry tomato I've ever had in my entire life. Plus, I love a radish on top. Whatever those big ones are called are my favorite. I thought it was going to be bongos sizes, but that is like 4 giant pieces of pork tenderloin. Shut up. This rice has coconut flakes in it. Look. And for the haters saying that was a full-size beer, here's my hand wrapped around your full-size beer. So here's where dinner gets fun. I was kind of pissed at this cat for going to every single table except for mine. Like, what was wrong with me? I was giving really pick-me energy, and I just got this one little scabby raccoon. But then all of a sudden, I manifested this cat. So me and my cat friend were kind of vibing, but then I turned around because the table next to me said, look behind you, and it's this disgusting raccoon that brought its whole gang back to jump me. I am not messing around. You're telling me I was worried about monkeys when I should have been worried about raccoons? Not today. Rats. Honestly, the hair kind of swaggy. Maybe this is my new style. Hey, but it is time to tally up for the day, and I am ready, and I'm feeling optimistic, and Okay, so for day 2, the grocery budget, which is what we ended up doing with like the fruit and the muffin and the cold brew, came out to $19.50, such that we are going to go with an even $22, including taxes, because I forgot Seattle taxes kind of. And then dinner out was $85.50, and that was before tip and tax. And because I had multiple drinks, that's going to be $1 a drink, so we already are up to $88.50, and then an additional 10% tax, so we are about $96 on what we spent for dinner out. In total, I have spent $263 through the first 2 days at this all-inclusive resort, trying to see if it's actually cheaper to live here and take advantage of everything that they have versus living back home in Seattle. Starting the day off by flushing out all of the sins of the past 2 days so far. Here you'll find me in the gym at 8 a.m. and if this is the only time you see me there, mind your business, please. Okay, I know this is hot, but I can grab two. And here's where I start panicking a little bit. And I mean a lot of it, truly. Oops. Did I grab two because I don't want to come back during my meetings? Yeah, and this is the size of one regular coffee, so focus when it's really hot. This was just for the bit. Now I have to set it down. Okay, message received. I wasn't clear about what is considered a grocery budget versus what is considered a dinner eating out budget. Basically, the grocery budget is anything that I would have on hand at home that I could make myself. Obviously, I don't have a kitchen here, so I'd have to kind of like justify whatever I have in front of me as like, could I make this at home? Would I make this at home? That being said, here's my disaster coffee and an omelet with veggies that I could have from my own house and usually would have from my own house. A sausage and hash brown from what would be Trader Joe's at home. I usually have some sort of fruit on hand. They cut up a melon. I would usually have a banana or an apple, but melon is what we're getting today. There is a cup of yogurt because I usually at some point during the day would have an actual yogurt. And then there's slices of bread. I didn't ask for this, it just came with it. And no, not all of this is gonna be my breakfast because I don't eat this big of a breakfast. This is just how it came. And therefore some of it is going into the mini fridge for a snack later. That is when you will see the price, okay? I love you. Here's my actual breakfast, which is going to be the omelet with like feta and spinach and onions. And I think I saw that there were jalapenos in the omelet. Ooh. Nothing much to add here. I just wanted to show you the sussiest looking sausage I ever have seen. I fully had to clip it because I know how you all are here. No, because something people don't tell you about when you're at a resort or a hotel in general is that you're living in constant fear that someone's going to knock on the little door, open it up when you're in the bathroom. Time for my afternoon yogurt snack. My afternoon yogurt snack is the equivalent of like one yogurt cup, which I challenge any of you to find something that is under $2 at the store. Coming back with my third and final coffee of the day. It doesn't count because my pot holds 3 cups and it's going to be eaten with my melon. My melon. And lunch is going to be some chips and the chicken consomme. Is that the right word? It's chicken soup, basically. It reminds me of the stuff that I got from Costco and that I always usually keep in my fridge for emergencies such as, you know, all-day meetings, and I can heat up something in 3 minutes. So that is my grocery for the lunch day. I'm not going to make you all listen to me eat soup because that's the weirdest thing you can do, but it was a decent soup, very brothy. Okay, so I've got this dinner thing that I was invited to, and I don't know if it's just like an open invite or if it's like a special invite. So I haven't decided whether I am adding a cost into that yet. We will decide once we get there. Like I'm driving. It's literally in the building directly next to mine, so. I don't think I'll be adding this in. So they told me that it was like a chef's dinner, but I was kind of picturing a networking event type of event. But no, it is a full tasting menu. Oop, and I guess I could have taken that raspberry off. It is a full tasting menu with like alcohol pairings throughout. So we were sat at this round table on the roof of one of the hotel buildings. And instead of like, you know, meandering around, they fully bring plated food to you and pair it with different types of alcohol. So I don't think this is something that I would normally get. I don't know how to really categorize this, so I'm not adding it in because there are times where I have work events or social media events that are all free and comped, and I think this kind of falls under one of those categories. If I do it again next week, I will be sure to add it in because then I'm choosing to do that instead of just receiving an invitation to come and join this in the first place. Also, I got a proper vodka soda this time. I knew how to ask for it. Thank you, Agua Gaseosa. Oh my god, you guys, I had to use the bathroom. But I'm really excited to debrief with you because I made friends. If you're watching this, hi Sam and Jamar. Most importantly, we are here today to discuss what living at an all-inclusive resort on day 3 will cost you. I need to stop leaning against that because the permanent marker keeps getting on my arms. Okay, on day 3, welcome to our first recurring monthly payment, which is going to be the gym membership because I officially went. And that means I'm spending $40 because I went to the gym one time. Granted, I go more often than that, but you don't have to believe me if you don't want to. Additionally, all of the grocery prices from earlier today added up to oh my God, I had to double check. Yes, $16 for groceries for all of today. Plus going out with that one vodka soda, I'm just gonna add $12 here. Plus, I don't know, the dollar tip in tax, so let's say $13. After day 3, that leaves us with a grand total of $332 spent at an all-inclusive resort. So we'll see what day 4 has in store to see if it is actually cheaper to live here than it is to live in Seattle. It's officially the first of the month, which means not only is rent due, but the first half of my utilities are due. So rent at home runs me $2,300, and utilities like gas and electric will be $147.
It's officially starting to feel like I'm just back in Seattle, considering the fact that I laid in bed until 10 a.m. instead of getting up and enjoying the day. Oh, hello, little monkey. Oh my God, they're everywhere. And then whatever these, oh my God, nature. Okay, no, not necessarily Seattle. Guess who didn't spill his scalding hot 2 cups of coffee this morning? This guy. At least yet. And I don't know if you can see how slowly I'm moving because I'm hyperfixated on not spilling my coffee. I also grabbed a little morning Danish for my breakfast, so that will be what we inhale this morning. All right, it is lunchtime. And we ordered again. This is a salad that I would easily compile myself. It's just like lettuce and some carrots, and then I think that's grapefruit, but I guess we'll find out. And then I ordered a kid's quesadilla, right? I just wanted a regular old quesadilla, which is like, you know, this. It came with the fries. I don't know if I'll eat the fries. And then this will be for later, my fruit. So I will add that into the total at that time. Make sense? The salad is indeed the perfect representation of what I would make at home. It's literally lettuce and some sort of vegetable and fruit that I'll just throw on top with a little bit of dressing, nothing crazy. And then this kid's quesadilla is something I would make in the microwave. You know, you throw on a couple of tortillas, grab a handful of cheese, and you're good to go. Obviously, I went back for the fries. How could you say no to going back for the fries? I thought I was going to say no, but I said no. And this, per usual. I'm back and ready for my afternoon melon break, and I took out the pineapple because I'm not a fan of the texture of pineapple. And that's a fun fact you now know about me. And here comes my afternoon caffeine fix. All right, fine, one more snack before dinner time. You caught me. We're heading back to the gym. But since I already paid for that $40 monthly membership, this doesn't count. This is just for my well-being. And here's proof of life of me actually going to the gym. Yo, what do you think is happening over there? Oh. I almost fell. Over there. Let's go snoop really fast because it looks kind of poppin', but I have no idea if poppin' is poppin' or if poppin' is like, you know, oh my God, we're in immediately retreat. It had a bunch of blow up toys for children. Absolutely not. Immediately no. Immediately no. A lot of you were concerned about the fact that the things that I was eating doesn't look like something I would be eating at home or that I would make myself. So here I am at the buffet, combining multiple things to create my own reality of what is actually served to me here. I told you I'm going to eat like I'm going to eat at home. And normally after a workout, I'll do some sort of protein. So this is a burger. And then we've got like jalapenos and lettuce. We've got potatoes that I usually have in the freezer from like Trader Joe's. And obviously some sort of pickle. And I don't know if these are actual cucumbers or if it's like an eggplant, but I guess we will find out. But overall, voila. As you know, when you're in a different country, not everything's going to be exactly the same. So we're taking this pickle, quote unquote, with a grain of salt. I have no idea what that is. Oh my God, am I sweating? So Cinco de Mayo is on Sunday, and the couple next to me is having a full-on argument about whether or not it is the Day of the Dead. Excuse me, what? Just in case there's any confusion, I just stole this apple from the buffet that I got dinner at. I don't know if I was allowed to do that, but I paid for it, so I'm going to take it. We're going to put it in our fridge because that's what we're calling grocery shopping. All right, ladies and germs, it's time to add up the totals of the day and see if it's actually cheaper to live at an all-inclusive. So, as you saw earlier, our first stuff that was due today was rent and bills, which means we have another recurring monthly expense, but this time of $2,447. Boo! Then on the other side of the world, our grocery budget today totaled up just $21. Yay! But with tax, that comes out to about $23. Man! And that brings our total with a massive jump, thank you rent, to an even $2,800 spent so far after 4 days at an all-inclusive resort.
Tomorrow, day 5, we'll see if we get a little bit closer to seeing if it's actually going to be cheaper to live here full time than it would to live in Seattle. I'm just trying to go to my room and this little, look at, get out of here. Earlier that day, it's a weekday morning, so you know exactly what time it is. Time for the morning journey to get my 2 cups of coffee to get the day started. But do I need to tell you that at this point? We kind of know the drill. I'm getting better at this because I have a hack that I taught myself. When I order room service, if I order just American coffee, they give me a whole pot of coffee. So I don't have to be like, oh, here are 3 cups of coffee. No.
I've got a pot.
And it sits here all day long and I can have as much or as little as I want. With that being said, I have another omelet and they didn't give me the sausages, they gave me bacon, but it's gonna be the same price point pretty much. And then hash brown toast. Once again, I didn't ask for it, but this time I got smart because I figured they would bring it. And I have jams and butters in case I want to eat this later, and then a yogurt. Per usual, it's going in the fridge for my afternoon snack. I'm not gonna make you watch me eat, but you know where this price point goes. Immediately proceeds to making you watch me eat. If I had to see this video, so do you. TBH. One thing they don't tell you that you do need to consider about an all-inclusive resort is the fact that the power might go out, knocking out the Wi-Fi across the entire resort, which means that you can't do anything that you need to do on the Wi-Fi. And in the result of that, you sit and stress eat pieces of bread that were delivered with your breakfast. I have now officially had 2 pieces of bread with butter. I'm sorry, 2 pieces of toast. Technically, I'm not just eating regular bread. So we're gonna add $2 to our grocery budget because that's about what it would be with the amount of butter that I've slathered on top of this piece of bread. We're back online and now I'm gonna eat my yogurt. And of course, here's that apple that I stole yesterday. Grocery shopping. All right, make a wish. Yay, it's finally time to go to the pool. So I don't know how I would actively quantify this pool, so I think I'm just going to stick it in the other benefit category and you can just watch me swim. I'm swimming like a fish to heading out to eat fish. Just like every meal here, they're gonna start you off with some bread and butter, and I don't want to hear a single word about the $2 wine. I do buy that Costco $4 bottle of Rooster wine, and obviously I had to start with the French onion soup because you love a French onion soup. Now I know what's hot here, and I don't want to hear a word about the fact that I ordered soup, okay? It's air conditioned inside where I am. Did I know what a salmon mousse was? No, I didn't, but it was a gift from the chef, and if the chef says here's a gift, then yes, of course I'm gonna eat it. And yes, of course it's free, even if it's a gift, but it was still delicious, and I had to start with the salmon risotto, and this is very similar to the type of salmon I would get at Trader Joe's, and I don't want to hear about the fact that, oh my god, it's so much bigger. Okay, we're doing the best that we can. Okay, we're doing the best that we can here. I would always have steamed veggies and some sort of rice. Finally, no, I don't want to hear about red wine with fish, okay? It was my wine and my fish. Teeth check after that. Not purple. Oh my god, it's kind of, hold on. It's kind of popping off on a Thursday night. Oh, there's an entire market in the middle of my resort? Question mark? If this is here all the time, I might go broke. Hold on, there's like straight up fire. What is going on? And there's bingo, I think, over there. Oh, okay. Well, I normally go out on Thursdays and get a drink with my friend Brian. I don't know if he watches these. So Brian, if you watch this, post something in the comment like eggplant. If you don't, everyone boo him. But there's a sports bar. Oh, kind of popping. I did it again. Wait, they have hookah in here? Not me on Saturday night. A vacation cig won't kill anyone, right? Relocating to a different bar. You guys, shut up. My cat friend. You little shit. I swear, we will be friends by the end of this month. Likes the girl back there. That's rude. Remembered how to properly order it by the time I got to the second bar, and I'm feeling better. It's not that hot. How am I sweating again? Why are the raccoons in the hotel? You're losing the war. Shut up. You won't believe it. We're 3 floors up. What? Get out of... Where are you going? There's no way you can... There's no way he's gonna jump that, right? Shit, I was on the wrong side, and now I have to go to his side. Scram. Get out of here. Run. So was no one going to tell me the better I get at speaking Spanish, the better I have to get at listening to Spanish? Because I ordered perfectly fine, and yet I didn't understand what he was saying to me when I ordered. And I just kind of kept saying, sí, gracias. For day 5, the grocery budget ends up at $32.50. We are not going to add tax because enough of you pointed out the fact that Washington doesn't actually charge tax for produce. And I'm tired of explaining the fact that a lot of what I buy is pre-prepared. And then going out, I had those 2 vodka sodas, which total $24. But because I tip $1 a drink, we will say a total of $26 for going out tonight. The grand total for day 5 is $2,858.50 towards what we are spending at an all-inclusive resort. To see if it is actually cheaper to live here than it is to live in Seattle, see you on day 6.
One thing they don't tell you about living in the tropics is that you're going to have a dehumidifier, and you're going to have to empty that sumbitch at least 3 times a day. And let me tell you, it gets so unbelievably full. I think there has to be a way to scientifically make this clean, drinkable water, right?
I got smart this morning and ordered this ahead of time so I didn't have to walk all the way down for my 2 cups of coffee. So we're going to start off the morning with just a lovely already made cup of coffee, wee bit of milk, and normally I would do like a granola with yogurt, but they didn't have granola and they had cornflakes. So what we're gonna do, love it or hate it, it is what it is. We are treating this as granola and yogurt for the morning. I've also gotten better at doing my midday lunches by ordering them at the same time that I order breakfast. I got this lox bagel sandwich earlier today with the idea that I'm just gonna be hungry for lunch. And guess what? I was hungry for lunch. Now, please, this sandwich is so unserious. It's literally a bagel. And I'm like, this isn't really cream cheese. It's just kind of cheese. There's a lox. Here's half a piece of lettuce and a tomato. It'll do the job it needs to do. I would get the sandwich at the grocery, right? And it would just be like mid. Full. But at least it's good though. It's Friday, Friday. Which means that before dinner, I'm gonna go get alcohol. Because it's Friday, Friday. Bet you could guess what I'm gonna get. Hola. Vodka con agua gaseosa, por favor. Grey Goose. Sí. Gracias. Look at this cheeky little boy. So proud of what he's just accomplished. So proud, in fact, that he had to get himself a second vodka soda. I'm heading to get Italian for dinner. Should I get pizza or pasta? Quick, quick, quick. Make a decision before I get there. Y'all are too slow. I decided on pasta. One thing to keep in mind, if you're here by yourself, they put you kind of by the door, kind of just at the singles table when there are, birthday, but there are also a billion degrees inside of here. I don't know if there's air conditioning, so we're doing white wine. Unfortunately, it's Chardonnay. Shout out Alex Fiddler. You all know her. She was the lactate bitch in all the videos that I've done before this. Bread of the night is a homemade focaccia, which makes sense because this is the Italian restaurant, and I obviously had to get a caprese salad. It comes with a pesto vinaigrette on top. I don't have this often enough at home, and I should. I mean, it's literally like 2, maybe 3 ingredients total. But then I had to get that ravioli that I told you about. I don't know if it was for me. It was very tomato soup adjacent, which I guess doesn't technically surprise me considering we are in Mexico, not in Italy, and because it was the end of the week and I made it, I had to treat myself with a cannoli, okay? And I don't know what's wrong with me in this video, so just keep that in mind as you watch me try to take this berry compo and put it on top of this cannoli. It's rolling around, I'm spilling the berries everywhere. It is just head to toe, top to bottom, a disaster. But the cannoli itself was good, so I think this might be just kind of a spot I go and taste more often. Right. What's all this then? Like, people are kind of sitting around waiting for something. Oh, it is a fire show. I'm coming back next week, and I'm getting the spot early so that I am right where those people were up front. But in the meantime, we're getting another drink. Did you guess what I was having? Enough. Plus, kind of a front row seat to the show.
What a great video angle you took here, Ben.
We're back in action, and you were plugged into my wall because my phone died. And I sat a lot of the night by myself because I'm here solo and here for an entire month, and everybody comes in like multiples of 2 or more. In the meantime, shout out to Blake, who went to University of Kentucky, for coming over and hanging out. And then shout out to the random man who came and dapped me up because he saw me sitting by myself and then asked if my night was going well. I said, yeah. And he goes, great. Men checking up on men. That is positive masculinity. Let's add up the day, shall we? The grocery budget for day 6 is $32, and I said I wasn't adding tax anymore. However, I did forget the yogurt yesterday, which was $2. So we're gonna change the grocery bill today to $34. Now, the going out budget was $48 for 4 vodka sodas. However, with that, we did tip, in theory, $4, bring it up to $52. And the wine that we included with dinner, that was like, I don't know, half a bottle of what I buy at Costco, which is $4. So let's add an additional $2 to make it $54, including all the alcohol, which is quote unquote my going out budget for the night. So the total for day 6 is $2,946.50, but we're going to round up to $2,947 because I don't like the additional 50 cents there. We will see you on day 7.